Good morning. My name is Dale Adcox, and I'm going to talk to you today about concrete and rebar and utilizing the Bentley Design Tool Pro Concrete. And so, with what I'm going to show you in work packaging rebar and concrete today, the details were originally done in Pro Concrete. And that web page, as you can see up here, is bentley.com products and the product line and the structure. But it's a good opportunity to look at this when we talk about work packaging. So what I want to show you, I'm going to begin to show you, Bentley ConstructSim solution has three pieces to it. It's a work package server, a ConstructSim planner, and then Bentley Navigator. What we're looking at now is the ConstructSim planner, and you can see the concrete and the rebar. This is a clarifier unit in this particular model. And so I want to show you how it's broken out just by being able to take the highlights away, and I want to show you specifically rebar. And you can see all the aspects of the rebar and then the ability that this gives us to work package it. And then I can come in and put the concrete over that and work package concrete in the same aspect. So where we're going to start off today is we're going to start off in the work package server, which the work package server is a robust engine, a robust database engine that shows you all the aspects of providing work packaging based off the advanced work packaging best practices. And that is from the CII RT2 319 and 272. So one of the things that I went in and already created is I created an engineering work package. This is live. This is not a PowerPoint presentation, so we are actually hitting the server. And I created an EWP, an engineering work package, and this was my naming convention, concrete rebar 1040, which may be an activity ID from your Primavera schedule where it could draw that in. And just by opening this up, you'll be able to see that I've already associated a related construction work package to that with the same naming convention. And then I just made a note that this was performed in Pro Concrete. The reason I wanted to show you this is with the work package server, you have the ability to build packages early even if you do not have the data, the model identity to support that. For instance, if you don't have the rebar in there or the concrete at that point in time. So when you're laying out your structure, for instance, this clarify structure, you can begin to say, this is my engineering work package. In this example, encompasses the entire clarifier unit, and then the construction work package may only encompass the rebar portion of it or the concrete portion of it and what that looks like, and then we'll develop IWPs. Throughout the work package server, in this particular instance, you get to see not only the general information, but you could see related packages. So this EWP is actually related to this CWP. And this CWP, by clicking on it here, gives me the ability to, had an issue there. Let me go back. Has the ability to show you that, and I'll show that to you in a minute. You have your schedule. So you can, so I went ahead and started creating start dates when I plan on doing this particular scope of work. And then you have all your other documentation to support that. So once you set that up, I'm going to go to my installation work package. And you can see that I've created two IWPs for rebar. I'll show you how easy that is to create it based on the design from Pro Concrete. But you can look, and it gives me the ability. For some reason I'm having an issue there. It would give me the ability to open that up and see the aspects of that particular work package. So now I'm going to come into ConstructSim Planner, and you can see here from my work package that I have the CWP I showed you, the CWP CR1040, and also the two IWP packages. Why is that beneficial when you're talking about work packaging? Because I have the ability to see what each one of those entails. So this CWP, I'm going to focus on it, encompasses all of the rebar for this particular clarifying unit. And you can see all the pieces of that rebar here on the left-hand side of the page where it's showing accept. Okay, for each IWP, I'm going to click on that. You can see how it turns purple. You may be able to see it in your screen, but it's right here at the bottom. That's one IWP, an install work package, to support this construction work package. I'm actually going to highlight that on and focus on it so you can see what that looks like. This may be one of the first things that you start to create rebar for. Now, and then also the second. So when I put these two together, this is two packages. And so I built those in sequence. So what I would like to do now is I want to go ahead and show you how easy it is to build a work package. So it brings up the full clarifier unit, and I am going to come over here and I'm going to cut my concrete off so I can get it out of the way and just focus on my rebar. I'm going to come back to work packaging. I'm going to click on this IWP and hit new IWP work package. And we're going to work package rebar. And so when I work package that rebar, it turns blue what is in the screen. Because of the size of the screen, you may not be able to see it completely, but you can see what's blue is already in a work package. Okay, what's green is available to be work packaged. So I'm going to scroll this way, all right, and come into the screen. And I'm going to select my element selector, and I'm going to start selecting my rebar. So the way that we built this is one complete panel, and you can see it all highlighted in pink. So I'm going to click that and walk over here and hit add. And it shows me the item number that I added and all the tasks associated with that. You may ask, well, why is this really important? The reason this is important is because you can take your project controls information or your task information for building rebar or concrete, how that's laid out, and then associate hours with it or units with it to be able to see exactly how long it'll take you to install that particular task. Now for here, we just showed it as a one-to-one, so we're showing 5 tasks and 5 hours to do that task. So I'm going to go ahead and complete this. Okay, so I'm actually building the base. All right. So I'm going to click on this again, build the rest of the base, and add to that. And you can see just by clicking on that, I've added those pieces. Now I need to come in to, that's actually my base, so I'm now to create that, I'm going to hit apply. And I'm going to stay with my naming convention, so this is going to be IWP CR1040-03. So this would be my third sequence if I was going to build it this way. And click OK, and then you see that come up. So always, when I'm building a work package, I always like to go back and look at it and make sure it is what I created, and so it looks like it is. It's that original mat in the clarifier. So I'm going to unfocus on this particular unit. Once again, just so I can see, I'm going to cut off my concrete. Okay, and there, that's the rebar package that I just built. So if I look at all of this, and this is everything that's been built that I have developed. So you can see by taking the time in a design tool like Pro Concrete, then you have the ability to lay out this particular rebar and install it the way you would want it to happen in the field. And that's really the key. Why is this important? Because we can now, by being able to do this, we're able to tag that rebar directly to that concrete structure. All right, so you don't have, rebar and anchor bolts. One of the biggest things we have happen in the field is when rebar comes in, we normally buy it in lots. Okay, the rebar gets misused or miscut. If it's already been bent, it may get used somewhere where it's not supposed to get used, and you end up having to buy more rebar. I've used this particular process on a project that I did a year ago. In doing that project, we did not have to order any additional rebar. We did two things. One is we were able to have the rebar pre-bent and tagged appropriately to the foundation, so we didn't lose any of those rebar pieces, and also we knew exactly what foundation it was going to. And it was all because we were able to individually identify that foundation in a design tool like Pro Concrete, or even in any of your design tools from Smart Plant, um, S3D to PDMS or PDS, being able to establish those individual concrete identities. So let's go in now and look at work packaging concrete, which I have not done yet. So we're going to go here. I'm going to cut the concrete on, and I'm going to cut the rebar off. And come back to work packaging, create a new work package. Oh, oh, all right. So I'm going to create a new work package. We're going to make that concrete. Okay, and that highlight screen. Once again, I slide this over. This is our work packaging window, if you say will, and it'll show you everything that's associated with that. So I'm going to use my element selector, and I will highlight. You see it turn pink, which shows me that it's in the current pack I'm building, and I'm working that. Okay, so you can show how easily that applies. Now, maybe in this particular unit, I'm going to go ahead and add all of these. We'll pour all of this base at one particular time, so I'm going to add that. All right, and so it's showing me what the tasks are and the hours associated with that. 40 tasks, 20,000 hours worth of work to pour this clarifier foundation. Now, let's just go ahead and apply that, and we will work package that. So I'm an IWP, and we'll just call that concrete, and we'll use 1041-01 as our sequence. And you will see that pop up here in the work packaging window. I want to make sure I'm not missing any questions real quick. Okay. Alrighty. So from a ConstructSim planner, which is what we're in, you can see where we have created a work package. So I'm finished with that work package. I'm going to get off of it. And what's really nice about this, so I've created two work packages here. I'm going to sync this by doing a synchronization, synchronize changes. Now, while that's synchronizing changes, I want to go ahead and show you Bentley Navigator. What is really nice about the opportunities that we have now with the Bentley Construction Solution and work packaging is being able to move that to a mobile device. So now this is showing on my desktop, and it's called Bentley Navigator Connect. But also this can be put on your phone, your iPhone, or your iPad, or any mobile device. It is because of the creation of iModels. An iModel is a rich data-centric model that really reduces the size. So if you have a, I don't know, 100 meg model, it may reduce it down to 8 megs, but it gives it a very rich format and one that's easily moved around and be able to utilize that. And then you have your panes here down at the bottom to be able to see different categories and to create visualizations. So for instance, if I want to look at just my rebar visualization, I can click on that and it'll let me know status for my task associated with that rebar, erect forms, install wire rebar, and accept, and it'll color code those. Now, you probably can't see that best from the screen, but it's on a, can you imagine what that looks like in a mobile device when you're out there in the field? And on creating work packages, you would be able to see those also and see the status of those work packages, and you have the ability to come over here and to create new visualizations. Okay, however you would like to set those up. And so you can just click on something and create a visualization, and it'll do that, for you depending on the attributes in your particular model. So really a very neat program for that. One of the other things that's really nice about having this mobile device is the ability to do issue resolution. One of the nicest things about that is you can come in here, and so I'm going to look and just put a mark right here and click add. Okay, and I'm going to say that this is a issue, so I'm going to call this concrete compaction. All right, and we'll say that this is a test discrepancy, and we're going to call this a high priority, and it's in the area, so we'll just call it a clarifier area, and we'll select the date today, 27th, and responsible party, we'll call that myself. All right, attachments. Now, think about if you were out in the field when we're doing concrete work, we really don't have a lot of time to be able to ask specifically for a resolution. So sometimes this gives you a great opportunity to be able to add an attachment. Now, if I was utilizing an iPad, I have two options here. One is I can click and do a screenshot, or I can click and take the camera shot myself from my mobile device, iPhone or an iPad or Surface Pro or anything of that particular nature. Okay, but today I'm going to take it from a screenshot. All right, it gives me the ability now to place a cloud around it. So I'm going to place a cloud just right around here. Okay, and I want to place some notes. Oh, I'm going to check that, and now I'm going to put some comments with it. And I'm just going to put compaction test not within spec. Okay, and I can add that particular comment, and it documents that. And then I have the ability to email that off. So it may help when you're talking about an RFI program or just wanting to deal with issues directly. It's a great opportunity or a great way to do that. So it makes it very, very easy. Let's see, okay. All right. So what I've shown you so far is I've showed you the WPS, which is our robust database server based off of engineering data and being able to create work packaging from that. I showed you how to create work packages for concrete and rebar both, using the ConstructSim planner, and then having the ability to carry that to the field or to hand that to your contractor or subcontractor, and for them to be able to utilize that information. So you get to see seamlessly all of the work packages that have been created, any issues, and then create your own status visualizations based off the attributes in the data. So really a true data-rich environment. So I synchronize the model, and when I synchronize the model, I'm going to come back. All right. And you can see the the two that I added. You remember I added the concrete work package here, and then I also added the concrete rebar work package here as 03. So what's so nice about that is you get a full transparency of data from one area in the model to another. So if I create work packages in the WPS because I don't have anything to identify it with at this present point in time, for instance, a model, but I want to go ahead and create what I know my work scope is going to be so I can plan my labor or my schedule or look at how many planners I might need. But the second thing is then being able to do that in the ConstructSim planner here. And just as easily as doing a synchronization, and you could see how long that took. A very quick time to do that. So why is this beneficial? I think that's really the question here. One is when you have the ability to create rebar drawings or concrete identifiers, the number one advantage there is being able to tag rebar specifically to that unit or that work package or that particular concrete identity, if you will. For instance, a standalone foundation. I have found by being able to do that is we do not have to go back and buy additional rebar. And we have the ability to have the rebar formed and cut or rolled or bent off site prior to bringing that to site, so you end up can reduce your safety risk, with bending rebar. The second thing is why this is important is it gives you an idea of the scope of the work. So being able to work package your rebar and concrete, you know exactly how many hours are associated with that, how you can schedule your pours, and how you can schedule the rebar to be laid down for that. So when you start looking at manpower to associate to that, and the opportunity to follow that through the entire project life cycle, from engineering all the way through to construction execution. So it gives you the opportunity to see all aspects of this. Now, I'm sure there's additional value that maybe I haven't thought of that may be of value to you in looking at it. But you can see how we've laid out the rebar and the different portions of that, what it looks like. I can focus on any of those and it'll show me what that rebar um, layout may look like. It's the same thing from the concrete perspective, of what that particular wall or that pour may look like. So the ability to design that in Pro Concrete has really been very beneficial. That shows the three pieces that I wanted to show you today with concrete and rebar work packaging. The work package server, where you can begin to set up your work packages as I showed you. And I just want to go back through that real quick. Being able to, when you look at a home page, following advanced work packaging best practices, you get to see it from an engineering work package and being able to associate the documents for that concrete or rebar. The work packaging, creating your construction work packages, it may help you utilize that as a bid document, and then your installation work package as far as construction execution is concerned. From the ConstructSim Planner, you have the ability to work package every one of those individually identified tagged items, which works out very, very well when you're talking about, I want to lay this out to be able to figure out my quantities for concrete, my rebar, and if I would like to have it bent off-site. And then ultimately your Bentley Navigator Connect, and this particular issue gives you issue resolution, very quick field engineering response if necessary, documentation for pictures or a punch list items. If you're in the QC world, it's a great opportunity for documenting punch list, and then also setting up your visualizations based off the data that you have in the model. Very easy to use. One of the nicest things about this is the ability to see many different models. So if, you know, for here I have 3 different models that I'm showing, but if you're a contractor or an engineering company that may have 9, 10, 12 different projects going on at one time, you have the ability to look at those different projects at different aspects of the project life cycle. So with that, I'll turn it over for questions.
Hi, Dale. It's Mary Kay. We do have one question. Can you hear me?
Okay.
We do have one question concerning an I model.
Yes, I can.
What is the I model and where does that come from? Maybe you can elaborate on that a little bit.
So the I model is a transformation that Bentley created, and it's a rich data format, as I talked about earlier, and it's just a way to get a robust model with a smaller megabyte size to be able to produce to an iPad or a mobile device. And so why that is so beneficial is because it gives you that rich data format that you otherwise have not been able to have. If you've tried to take maybe a laptop out in the field and carried an older model PDS model with you, or a PDMS model, or even a S3D, there's so much data in that it's very slow and sluggish when you're talking about using it on a mobile device. And the I model capability of Bentley has been very successful in configuring those larger models into a model that can be used for mobile application.
Okay, and that can be generated right from Pro Concrete, correct?
Yes, that can. Once that model is generated, we take that Pro Concrete model, turn it into an IGN, which is a data transformation of that information, and then push it straight into an iModel, publish it into an iModel. It goes into ConstructSim Planner and then also into the Bentley Navigator Connect. It's a great question. Thank you very much for that.
Great. Thank you, Mary Kay, and big thank you to Dale for a great presentation. And thanks to all of you for your questions and participation.